Good day, my ratties. And today we are welcoming Victoria to the pod.
Hello.
Victoria is my mom friend who I get to commiserate with that I have yet to hang out with. But shout out to PBS for bringing her into my life so that we can, I don't know, vibe over the not good times.
Yeah, it's crazy that we've known each other for over a year now because we were both, or close to a year, because
Yeah.
I left around, I think, no, it's earlier than a year, but it's still been a long time to be friends and to never hang out, but
Yeah. We
share
tried.
every secret.
I know. We definitely tried, but you had to go and move on me. So,
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather be out of Florida, but yeah, North Carolina is not that far.
I don't know. Isn't it like 6 or 7 hours?
No, it's like 12.
Oh, okay. See, geography is
Yeah.
not my thing. So,
Yeah, it's like, oh, mine
yeah.
either. That's literally something that Marcus makes fun of me all the time because I'm so bad at geography. Like,
Yeah. Geography and
horrendously
history
bad.
can't,
I
can't
don't know
tell you
anything. I
anything.
grew
Yeah.
up in North Carolina and I still couldn't tell you which states touch it. That's none of my
Yeah.
business. I don't know.
I couldn't tell you all of the states in the United States.
Me
Couldn't tell
either.
you where they are. Couldn't tell you anything
Look,
about the continents
and
and
then they're
what
gonna
is
say, like,
where.
the American education. I don't want to hear it. I have a master's degree, okay? I just don't know geography.
Listen, geography is not our niche, you know? You're allowed to
No.
have niches in life and
Yeah.
geography is not it for
Yeah,
us. And
give
that's
me a
okay.
child and I'll work with them. But who
Yeah.
needs to know about New Hampshire? Because I think I forget about that one a lot.
Mm. Is that a state or what's the capital? I remember that
Oh,
in school,
God.
like being so worried about like your like history test or geography test where you're gonna have to like do all the capitals. And I'm like,
I
why do I need to know this?
I
Why?
literally remember failing that test. Like in my
Yeah.
like I can see me in school and I remember failing that test and I was like, wow. And it still haunted me like to this day. I like to do once a year, like usually at Christmas or something when everybody's drunk, I'll get out paper and I'm like, all right, we're gonna have like a 5 minute countdown. Everybody write down as many states as you think you can name.
Oh
And everybody's like,
God.
I could do 50 for sure. And you know what the average is? Like 35. So I don't want to hear
Yeah. I'd probably could come up with 10.
it.
Off the top of my head. If I was given like 5 minutes, I think I could come up with a couple more.
Yeah, I think my sweet spot's like 25, which I think like 50% is not bad.
Yeah. I mean, we'll take it.
Yeah, it's great. No, education's wonderful.
Yeah. So, another wonderful thing about Victoria is she's like the only one of my friends who has almost the same taste in books as me. I would
We're
say
close.
you can't go quite as dark as I can, I don't think.
No, you're into some freaky shit. I've tried. Listen, okay, that series that you had me
Everyone I've
read.
recommended the Lord series to comes back to me and they're like, "What the fuck did you ask me
Yes,
to read?" And I'm like,
yes,
"Listen,
I fully agree. I did enjoy them. Like, so let me say that I did end up enjoying them. I read like three of them. However, the names, oh my God, they get me
oh
so
yeah,
mad.
I remember
They
you
get me
texting me like as you were
so
reading it,
mad.
you were like, "What? Oh, because it's like she does a lot of the Y names,
She throws Y's into everything. Like it's so stupid.
Aiden, Blakely,
I
like
think there's a
what?
Hayden, there's a Riot, there's, yeah,
Yeah,
Blakely. Like just the most obnoxious names. Like if she just didn't do that with the names, I honestly would have rated it like one more star. Like it got knocked down a star because I hated those names so much. But good for her for staying consistent because she did it the entire
I
series.
mean, it's her niche, so we'll go with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's freaky shit and wise. Whatever,
I'm
dude.
I am reading a series right now that I think you would actually like. You might have already read it, the Perfectly Imperfect series.
Um, that doesn't sound. Honestly,
It's
I
like
don't
a
know. I'd have
mafia
to go on
series,
that.
so that's why I think you would like it.
Ooh, I do love
Yeah,
a good
it's like
mafia
an
book.
11 book series, but
Oh, that's
here's
so
the caveat.
long.
Yeah, because you know how like when you told me to read Zodiac Academy, I'm like, There's
Dude, I'm
so
still in the
many
same book.
books. There's so many books. I just can't do that to myself.
Yeah.
But this one, like each book is like under like 400 pages. Like I think the first one was like
Okay.
280 pages. So I've been able to read one a day because, like I just stay up reading the book until like my
Oh, I'm the
Kindle
worst about
slaps me
that.
in the face. And then I'm like, oh, maybe I should. That's what happened last night. Like I put the book, like the Kindle down to stop reading, was going to go to bed, and then like got another spurt of energy and was like, oh, I'll read some more. And then like it slapped me in the face as I was falling asleep. And I was like, okay, now it's time to go to bed.
You know what's worse than that is that I get slapped in the face by my husband's Kindle because he will hold it next to my
Mm,
head and then he falls asleep and then it falls onto
mm,
my head, which is very, very annoying. And it also scares the absolute shit out of me because usually I'm
yeah.
like reading some creepy book and then I
Yeah. And
just
you're
get
like,
smacked in the face.
yeah.
But I'll
Matthew
have to
does
look into
not
that.
read or partake in any of that. As soon as his head hits the
No?
pillow, he's asleep.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Marcus
What would
is really
that,
close.
that would be such a life to live.
Oh, I know. Like he just lays down and he's like instantly asleep. Like he'll read like a page and then he's out and snoring. And I'm like,
Oh
wow,
my
that's really
gosh.
great. I'm gonna stay up until like 2 a.m. just kind of
Mm-hmm.
living my
Because,
own
yeah,
life.
this is my quiet time, my me
Yeah,
time.
I that's like the thing. Like I'm always so tired and he's like, you should go to bed earlier. And he's like, you don't understand. Like after 9 when you're already asleep, that is the only peace I get. Like
Yeah,
there's no child, there's no husband, it's just me. I
just
can do
me.
whatever I want.
I know. Matthew like will be like, go to bed early tonight, and I'm like, we'll see. We'll see how good the book gets.
Fair. I haven't been on reading as much. I'm in actually a pretty bad reading slump right now because I did go back to Zodiac Academy and I've stopped on the same book that I stopped on when I read it
Mm,
a year ago because I just can't get by what they're doing. But I am trying to push through it. But I am a nerd and I've actually been playing my Switch in bed regularly.
mm.
So that's what keeps me up late into the night.
Yeah, I talked about that. I think maybe like 2 episodes ago. I tried to be
Yeah,
a
I heard that.
gamer. I tried to borrow Dylan's Switch too, and like I wanted to be an Animal Crossing girl. But
Mhm.
then it pissed me off because I was like, there's only so much you can do in one day. And Dylan was like, well, there's this hack where you can do XYZ or whatever and like get there. And I'm like, ugh, like, who has the time to do that? So then it got annoying to me. And yeah, so,
I play a lot of, I'm like super, super nerdy because I play a lot of like Disney Dreamlight, which is basically like Animal Crossing, but Disney version. And like
oh,
I'm deep into the nerdiness to where I will watch YouTube videos now about it. Like that, I feel like that's like really, really deep in the nerdiness.
yeah,
And I'm like, oh, that's so,
super gamer girl. That's
yeah,
cute.
just
I
me and
wish
my
I could
little
be that
Switch.
way. Yeah.
It's honestly just another distraction in my life to keep coasting on by.
I tried to get Dylan to also teach me. He has like a PlayStation and has the Harry Potter game. And I
Oh,
tried
I
to get
have
him
that.
to teach me how to play it because I had this whole grand idea that I was going to buy myself a Switch and I was going to get the
Hmm.
Harry Potter game for the Switch and I was going to
Hmm.
become a gamer.
Hmm.
And literally, like, I think second day in him trying to teach me, I'm like, this is not for me. This is not for me. Like, because
I
I would get to like some of the things you would have to do, and I'd like fighting someone or doing something, and I'm like, I literally can't get past. Like, just get me past this so I could go do what I need to do.
I did that so often. So I we got that one. We got it on the computer, and I am really bad at like fighting, like any kind of fighting games. I'm really bad at. But I
Yeah.
like story games, like doing the story. So one, I have it on like really easy mode, so it's not like
Yeah, I had
as
it on the
hard.
easiest mode too, and it was still too hard for me. So I don't know what that
Yeah,
says about me.
mine was my downfall was the flying. I could not fly to save my life, and so I had to
I
get
was
Marcus
pretty
and
good
kind of
at
do all of the
that.
flying.
I was pretty good at that part. I will give myself that. But like the fighting, especially like the under pressure fighting when like they
Oh
were
my gosh.
attacking you when you were going on your missions, I'm like, okay, I'm dead
Yeah,
every single time.
and the
So this
giant
is
animals, like what
yeah.
is it, like wolves and spiders and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like this is too much. So
Mm-mm.
I
Yeah,
do
I
really
can't do
enjoy my
it.
Dreamlight Valley for that. There's nothing scary. You're just out there frolicking and gardening and mining and getting jewels.
That's
And I'm
so
super
cute.
rich in the game. Like who doesn't want to be super rich?
Right? Like you're in an alternate
Yeah,
reality.
It's great, and I'm happy. And not that I'm not happy, but I'm happy and rich, and that's exactly where I want to be in life.
I love that for you. Well, speaking of being moms, today we're going to give hot takes from a mom's perspective. And they're pretty hot takes. Matthew read over them and he was like, oh, wow, these are some pretty hot takes. And I was like, okay.
And I have so many
Hopefully,
more.
yeah, hopefully we don't get canceled, but who
Listen,
cares?
if
I'm
there's one
speaking the
thing I
truth.
am, it's a judgy person, and I
Oh,
accept that.
yeah, it's okay.
So,
It's not gossip. Oh, what was it's my queen, Paige DeSorbo, I think, who said it's not gossiping if I'm just telling the truth about somebody else.
yeah, then sometimes it might be hearsay, but you know what? I don't know that. I'm not a lawyer. I'm
Yeah.
not here
Mm-mm.
to find
Mm-mm.
out the truth. I'm just passing along knowledge. Knowledge. What is it? Folklore. How
Oh
those
yeah.
get passed along. It was
Absolutely.
gossip,
Mm-hmm.
so I fully support it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, first hot take. Moms that are overly into breastfeeding.
I know this weirds me out so much, and
It's
I get it.
so, yeah, I don't. Also, I think just too, like looking back on it, the hospitals are just so like they just shove it down your throat. And like I remember like and like they will not let you have formula as like another option. They're just like, no, 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 you don't want to do that. But then your kid is like literally getting nothing to eat.
Yeah.
And
Thankfully,
I don't
mine
know.
was pretty a little less pressure. Like they did try a lot and they kept having somebody like come by and like talking to me, but I knew going in I was going to do combo feeding. Like I knew that like even if breastfeeding went super well and he latched and I was producing well, I knew I was going to do combination feeding because one, I didn't want the pressure on myself to be producing breast milk like nonstop, and two, I wanted Marcus to have the opportunity to do it as well. I didn't want to be like the sole source of food, and I felt like really passionate about that because I knew that my mental health would have not survived being like the sole meal
Yeah.
plan for my child.
Mm-mm.
So they gave us formula early on, but they did try to push. And then I was like, he's not latching. And they're like, you should try again. I'm like, no, he's not latching. I'm not doing this again. He's just not latching.
No, I there was like a nurse who was in there with me like the second day, like half of the day, just like trying to get him to latch with me. And I'm like, can we like just not? But yeah, I think it's really creepy, like being overly into breastfeeding or also just like overly like boasting about how like you breastfeed, you breastfeed, you breastfeed, or like shut up.
Yeah. There's like so much to be proud of on being a mom. And like, I do have a lot more respect being a mom now because I know that like whenever people are, when I was childless and then like moms are just like all about their mom personality and like get over it. No, this shit is really hard. So I do have a lot more respect for them in that aspect, but I just don't get like shaming them, like because it does come off as shaming. Like if you're like, oh, I'm so much better because I breastfed and blah blah blah, you're shaming the moms that can't or that won't or like whatever the circumstances, or if it's not their biological child and they're adopting and stuff like that and they're not able to breastfeed. I just don't think that it makes a difference on how your child is fed as long as they are fed. And also, if they're walking, talking with teeth, I think it's fucking weird.
Dude, yeah, like also how because I see how he will like take the bottles and like
Yes, and like rip the nipple.
I'm like that could not be my nipple. And he got teeth at like 5 months old.
Mhm.
So, and then has just continued to get more. So, like you're telling me starting at 5 months old, I would have been getting bit on the nipple? Not in that kind of scenario do I need that to happen, okay? It's
No,
only
no.
cute in the books and in other situations.
That's how I feel
Like,
about it.
I don't want that. No. So,
And I
yeah.
get like there because there's so many moms that are like it's natural and like it's weird to sexualize boobs and da 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 whatever. Like okay, great, it's natural. I still think it's weird to drink something out that came out of somebody else. Like I think that's just weird. Granted, I did have all of my friends try my breast milk. They're weird. That's on them. I just think it's weird to drink the liquid that somebody creates, you know? So I did pumping for 2 months and I was like, I'm done with this shit. I can't do this
Dude, pumping
anymore.
made me want to literally off myself and jump off a
Oh
bridge.
my
I
God, yeah.
hated pumping
Mhm.
so much. So like so once he got reflux and they were like, honestly, like this certain formula would probably be just really good to do. And I'm like, say less. I'm done here. I
Yeah,
am
I
done.
I remember the day that I was like, I'm not pumping anymore. Like, I'm quitting. And I felt such a relief, like, off my chest that I could just, like,
Yeah.
not have to schedule out pumps, be in pain, have my boobs leak all the time, store it,
Hmm.
make sure it's, like, being dated correctly so it's not stored incorrectly.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
God, Lord.
know. Yeah. But see, I remember like leading up to that, like I would be crying. And even like before giving birth and stuff, I was very like, you know what? If breastfeeding doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But obviously, then like it gets here. And like, I feel like then there's just like extreme pressure because, again, I feel like social media is like just only shows the good and is so like romanticizing of being a mom and like the pressure that's on you. So I remember like I would be crying because the lactation consultant would like come over to the house or whatever and stuff. And I would just be like sobbing after, during everything. And then like crying to Matthew, like, you're not going to think less of me if I formula feed, right? Like, and he's like, why is this a discussion? Like, you are sobbing all the time and there's an easier way to feed him. So let's just do that.
Which is awesome that he was so supportive because I've had friends that didn't have husbands that were supportive, that they were like, you need to breastfeed like as long as you can. Like, I want my kid to have the best
Mm-mm.
and da 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 and like whatever. And it's just like, it's crazy one to have that opinion when it's not your body.
Yeah, that's like,
And two, like, I think that your mental health matters so much. Like, my mental health was plummeting pumping all the time. Like, because he didn't breastfeed. So I pumped, fed him a bottle, burp him, he's ready, and then I'm pumping again. And then I do it over and over again. That was my day. It was just like one long feeding nonstop. It's like, this is exhausting. I can't like go out and do stuff because I have to worry about pumping. Like, it's just so like random. I had my friend's memorial that I had to go to. My best friend of 12 years passed away, and I was like 3 weeks postpartum, and I had to pump while I was like doing her memorial and everything like that. And I'm like, this is fucking miserable. I just want my boobs to be my boobs again and nothing else. So that's why I did not make it past 2 months and I regret nothing.
yeah, same. Period. Okay. Mo- Moms who think they're better for going all natural. I saw
Like,
a Facebook post the other day that really got me going about this because it was like something about like a meme about moms like when they bend over and they get that one twinge or whatever from your epidural, which like what is that even about? Because like I don't get that. But then like this person reposted it and was like, and that's why like I do this shit all natural, baby, blah blah. And then there's like all these people like commenting, supporting, like, yeah, like I could never. And it's like, who asked?
I get really mad about this because I had a C-section. And so like a lot of people will be like, "Oh, did you have like a natural delivery?" And I'm like, "All delivery is natural." Like, I grew the child. The child came out of me. That's as natural as you can get. So like I've tried to like redirect like people that ask that, like, no, it's all natural. Like, my kid came out of me. I grew him.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it was surgical, it still came out of me. But yeah, and I get it. Like, great, you can be proud of yourself, and that's really awesome that you were able to do that. And it doesn't make you any better than the mom that needed an epidural or the mom that got a C-section or whatever it may be. You're still a mom. You still did it. You still birthed a child, whatever. And it's weird that people are like so uppity about it. There's so many other things to be uppity about. That's
Yeah,
not
I
one of
just
them.
like that's what I feel like. I feel like like motherhood is this giant competition of who did what and how they did that and how that made them better than the other person. And I'm just like, shouldn't we just be focusing on the fundamentals of like, making sure that you're staying healthy while you're pregnant, making sure that like when your child is here, like your mental health is okay so that they are okay and you're meeting their
Hmm.
needs like however they need to be met and that be that.
Yeah, like going back to the basics of just like, is your child like well taken care of, fed, healthy? And it doesn't matter. But then the problem is that people go to the extreme of that, and then they're like doing unsafe shit with their kid, and then because I see like on TikTok and stuff like that, and then the comments are like, as long as the baby's happy, and like no, like there's safety things, backed by science that you should
Yeah.
kind of follow along with. That's not opinion. That's literally just science and facts. And like, I just don't understand how you can put that up for like an opinion on raising your kid. But that's like, it's crazy because I feel like there's two extremes with that. That it's like all opinion, and then no, you're just gonna ignore science. Okay.
Yeah. So frustrating. And there was literally like a child development lady who was on a podcast talking about like because someone was asking like what are you like is screen time like really harmful, like what are things that like doing in a child's like early years can set them back and this and that, and she was like it's literally like the basic principles that actually like when you look at research matter. So like are they fed? Are they well taken care of? Do they know that they're loved? Like do you read a book to them at least once a day? Like all of those things are the things that are shown in research to like matter the most. Every other little thing you do has such a small statistical like percentage of doing anything to harm or not harm necessarily. So it's like focus on the basics, on taking care of your child and making sure they're happy and then they're loved and doesn't matter anything
Yeah.
else.
I had, I think, just kind of like a differing view on screen time because of our career field, and I've seen how screen time can help kids, especially if they're nonverbal and like the things that they learn from it. And I've worked with kids that are completely nonverbal and they've picked up words and sentences and everything like that and developed communication by their tablet. So, like, there is a lot of positive impact that it can have. And the main thing that when it comes to screen time is that replacing your parenting or is that added to your child's life? If it's replacing your parenting and replacing your attention and replacing like the bonding that they're supposed to be having, then yeah, that's obviously going to have a negative effect. If it's just added to their life around them, it's not going to harm them. It's
Yeah.
just like finding that balance. And I feel like this generation of moms is just like so extreme.
Yeah. Like if you're not a Montessori mom, like you're like the worst mom ever. And it's like also, did you know that the Montessori model really is only for like upper middle class, like white people that it's like fits the narrative for because who can afford like all of those things?
Right. And it's crazy, but also like I don't know because I just like get into the like sometimes I feel like there's too much information available, and that's how people get up on these like pedestals about like parenting and stuff like that. But then also I feel like a lot of people aren't like fully educated. It's crazy to me that you can just like do it and have a baby and just raise it, and like nobody is like
Yes.
checking that.
Like literally, okay, this is gonna be a super hot take, but I am a firm believer in like when we're born or something, we should be injected with something that makes us like sterile.
Sterilized the
And
United
yes,
States.
yes, no, 100%. And then once you like say you're 21, fine, we'll say 21, you can like go to pass, like take a test, like a written test you need to take, and then you need to, like in home ec when they would give you a baby for a week, like
Hmm.
you need to be given like a top of the line baby that like legit has all of these different sensors and things like that, and you need to pass, and then you'll get the antidote and you'll become fertile again. I will die on that hill because why, like some people should not be having children, like you just shouldn't. And but the government
Yeah.
will never get on board because we need more kids.
Well, yes, that, and I feel like then you would have to make sure that everybody has equal opportunity to education, blah blah blah, which obviously our country is.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I can ideally, I could totally see that being the perk or like beneficial to the world because honestly, there are so many people that should not have kids that don't want to have kids that do end up having kids and then they still don't want kids and they have more kids. Like it makes no sense to me. And it just like blows my mind because it is really hard to raise a child and I wanted this child and it's still very very hard. I can't imagine trying to do this and I didn't want a kid. But
Right.
then also the human body is so wild because like I think I'm like reading the ingredients. I'm like, oh, is sugar like the first ingredient on this thing? I don't want to give it to you. And then there's like kids that have had like whatever drug in their system and parents that are giving them whatever and they're thriving and they're completely fine. And it's just crazy like how much like it honestly feels like none of it matters. Like it's just gonna turn out how it turns out and it doesn't matter like what you do to
I mean, well, that goes
prevent it.
back to like the breastfeeding thing. Like, who's gonna know when your kid's in kindergarten if they were breastfed or formula fed because they're eating chicken nuggets off the floor?
Hmm.
Like,
Could you imagine
what?
like putting on their application, child is breastfed until they were 5 years old? Like your kid still looks the bottom of shoes, just like
Right.
my kid. Like that's fine. Like
Yeah.
it's not going to make a difference.
No. My other hot take is similar to the moms who think they're superior for their natural births. Also, the moms who think they're superior for like having birthing centers and doulas and midwives and all these things. I'm like, I looked into a birthing center because the lactation consultant I found was like
Hmm.
with this birthing center or whatever. Let me tell you how much that shit is. And I think the only insurance that they took was like TRICARE. And it was even like you have to pay for it and then you submit it to TRICARE and they will maybe reimburse you for it.
Right. Like
Like,
how much?
no, it was like, I want to say over like 7 or 8 grand.
That's absurd. And also, like, if it's your first kid, I just feel like you should go through that experience with the most support you can. Like, if something were to go wrong, like after you've had like your first, like I have a friend that, she gave birth in her home, I think with a doula, and it was beautiful, like amazing. It was her third kid though, so she had a little bit of an idea of what birth is going to look like for her. But if it's your first kid, there's so much that you just don't know until you're in it, and there's so much that could go wrong. And like, I would just rather be on the side of like having more professionals that could help. But then also, I get like not everybody has a great experience with their doctors. Like, especially women of color have notoriously had bad experiences with,
Mm-hmm.
doctors and everything like that. So it is hard. And I mean, I had a couple of different doctors, and I ultimately found one that I did like in the end, even though I don't think he could like tell you anything about me. Like, I think I met with him a total of 5 minutes the entire time that I was seeing him, but he did a great job. um, but yeah, I just like, especially for your first child, that just
Well,
like
because
terrifies
this
me.
place, like, I remember like reading through the stuff too, and like you go home, like they don't like make you really like you get to go home like a couple hours after if like everything's okay, and then you just come back the next day. But it's like, um, the first night, like after giving birth, like I would have like literally wanted to die if we were home without the nurses coming in and helping and like checking on me and stuff. I'm like, no. also, like, I had to be induced too, so, like, that's not really something you can really even do at a birthing I mean, I maybe you can, but I know they try to do, like, natural inductions or whatever, but, like, also I feel like being induced can be scary because, like, you have to be, like, monitored a lot more closely because they need to make sure you're not like going into labor too quickly or things aren't speeding up too quickly. So
Yeah.
like that alone for me made it be like, well, that would never be an option because I like mm-mm.
Yeah, I'd rather have just the support of all of the professionals. And I was induced. Well, I don't know if I was induced. It's weird because I went into labor like the day before I was supposed to be induced, but I didn't progress fast enough. So then they induced me. And then I was in labor for 48 hours and then they just cut them out. So
Dude, I feel like that is my heart and soul goes out to you still for that.
honestly, it's just so crazy because I mean, I was on a lot of drugs. Like, I didn't feel like that bad, thankfully. It was like the first like 24 hours was rough. And then like after that, they had me on all the drugs, but they had to like manually break my water and like literally like shoving a hanger up there trying to like break the water. And it was crazy. Like, thank God you have the epidural because if you didn't, they're like, you would have not been able to get through that process easily. Great, great, great. Fantastic. And then, oh, all of this was for no reason. We're just going to cut them out. Great.
The joys, the joys. I will say though, I do understand what moms mean when they're like, when I'm like, yeah, why would, you go through labor again? They're like, you kind of forget about it. And I'm like, I do think I have, like, not that I've forgotten about it, but when I think back on it, I'm like, well, it wasn't that bad, Would I like volunteer myself as tribute again? I don't know, but it wasn't like the most awful thing that ever happened.
Yeah, my C-section was actually really good, and like I tell all of my friends that are like pregnant or anything like that because there is so much pressure to have like a vaginal delivery and to go this route, and I feel like there's like just kind of like shame around a C-section, and so like I had a relatively good experience with C-section. Like I've healed really well, no complications, everything like that, but it was painful and it was really hard. And so like I like to give them like kind of my perspective because I feel like all you hear is like really, really bad experiences with C-sections. And it was like, it's the worst thing of my life. And it was so horrible. And like, it was hard, but it wasn't the worst thing. The worst thing was after my C-section, and I think they do it for vaginal deliveries too, when they push on your stomach to try to shove
Oh,
all of
yeah,
your
your
organs back in
uterus
there.
and stuff. Oh my
That,
gosh, yeah. When they
like,
were coming in
like,
and doing that, was like, what are you doing?
I was literally screaming in pain. Like, I was screaming and crying to where, like, my mom and my husband were both, like, by my side, like, trying to calm me down because it hurt
Well,
so
yeah, I didn't
unbelievably
know
bad.
that they did that even with the C-section. I would think they wouldn't because, like, literally
Right?
you have like an open wound.
You're just gonna like push it out of the wound? Like, what are we
Oh
doing
my
here?
God. Yeah,
It was
no, that
like that. And like that sticks out of my head of like that was the worst experience of my life. So I don't actually tell my friends about that part. Um, I let them figure
that's
it out on their own. I don't want to scare them.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like everything else is like super easy though. But yeah, I like had like a really good C-section experience, and like I have my scar, I have my like little pooch over my scar, and like whatever, it is what it is. But it's crazy because like it put in the perspective of like C-section to me is now I'm like that is a birth. Like that is what I think of because that's the only one that I've experienced. So like thinking of a vaginal birth, I'm like that's terrifying. Like just all of the parts getting like ripped apart and having a child come through, that is terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. They asked me if I wanted like a mirror. They even like yeah, and I was like, I'm good. Like I've already told my husband he's not even allowed to go down there. Like because and he was like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Because then I'm going to want to know." And and I don't want to know. Like I'm going to want to know because and I'm going to feel like
Mm-hmm.
you have this like secret about me that I need to know, but am not interested in knowing what that looked like whatsoever. And then at one point too when I was pushing, they asked if I wanted to like because his like what is it, like, they're
The
crowning or whatever,
crown.
like, his head was
Hmm.
in there, like, "Do you wanna feel?" And I'm like, "Nope." I don't. Just let me know when I need to push again. Like, I don't want to do that. That's disgusting. Thank you. Moving on. And oh yeah, and even like they're like, you want to see your placenta? Mm-mm, good. Don't like it's. It, I don't. I don't know. I just. Some moms are probably gonna be like, oh my god, she like, what is wrong with her? But I just that stuff to me was not it. Like I was so happy, yes, to have him skin to skin and have that, but like I don't want to be a part of anything down there and seeing any of that.
Yeah, I didn't have that option because they were cutting me open, which is fine with me. I didn't need to see any of that, or know
Yeah.
about any of that. I don't know anything about my placenta, which is just funny. Like thinking about my placenta, I remember that I was like telling my mom, I don't even like know what I was doing. I was like, I think I went on a walk. Like I was walking daily when I was pregnant, or trying to at least. And she was like, "Are you one of those health nuts? You're gonna eat their placenta or something?" I'm like,
Oh
"Mom,
my
that is
god,
like
no.
such a strong jump. Like
Yeah.
just just like a healthy birth and you're
Like
going straight to eating your
literally
placenta. Like
just
that's not
yeah. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
you're just keeping it to the basics. I'm just trying to like keep me and the baby alive. That's it. I'm not trying to eat any other part of me. Thank you though. Love the suggestion.
Yeah. Thanks for the potential health benefits, but no thanks.
Yeah. I'm gonna pass. Maybe next time. Maybe
Yeah.
next time.
Yeah, speaking of health benefits, shout out to anti-vaxxers for making me terrified that my son is going to get measles.
That's so stressful. And it's crazy that this is what we have to be stressed about. And like I'm curious is like were there always this many anti-vaxxers and we just didn't know about it because social media and like that wasn't as like prominent? Like were we just not hearing about it? Because I remember like needing your vaccines for like school and stuff like that, and there were exceptions. Like I remember hearing about like religious exceptions and everything like that. But like, were there this many? Because this it concerns me, and it's like stressful because now I have to worry about my kid being around other kids, and like I don't want to worry about that, and I don't want to worry about measles. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
I remember, yeah, because I remember that too, like before going to kindergarten, like having to get a bunch of shots and stuff like that. But like, I don't know, like, I don't, obviously as a kid, like, I never thought that was optional. Like, that's just
Yeah,
like,
you
what?
just that
So,
was just what was normal. Like I just didn't hear about, and like maybe it's just like the group of people that I was around, but I just didn't hear about anybody being like super
I mean, I
anti-vax. And
definitely
now it's like
think being in the
everywhere.
South is probably actually I take that back because like I feel like a lot of people in the South are now the ones who are like anti-vaxxers and I'm like, "Wait,
Yeah.
what?" Like
Well, because there's that whole jump from like super conservative to like trad wife and like the
and being
religious, and
yeah.
not like I'm not talking like on all religions and everything like that, but there's definitely kind of like a pipeline of that, and then it gets to like not
Yeah.
trusting science anymore. And it's like when you get to the point you're not trusting science, I think you need to reevaluate things because this is like proven. Like I just can't get like I don't understand how you are going to argue with scientific facts.
People will find a way. At least I will
So
say I do know a lot of pediatrician offices and like my pediatrician is one of them. Like if you are not willing to vaccinate your child, like they will not accept you as a patient. The only thing they will let you do is do like an alternative vaccine schedule where like like cuz I think for us like 1-year-old shots that we got like 3 in a day.
mm-hmm.
And so like you can split them up a little bit or whatever, but that's like the only thing that they allow you to do. Like you're going to get the vaccines. And it's just crazy because I was actually talking to my pediatrician about this because this is when he got that like fever rash and I like told you I literally
Right.
thought I was going to like die because I was like what is this? Like I this is crazy what kids can do and what happens to them, like the things you
Mm-hmm.
never even heard of. And I told like I was freaking out in there. I was like, "Does he have measles? Like I'm terrified." Like, and she was like, "Yeah, you know what? Like I just want to wear a shirt that says like you're welcome. I'm vaccinated." And I'm like, what's also insane is people who are anti-vaxxers. Like, guess what? You're vaccinated.
Yeah,
You're
it's
vaccinated, but you're preaching to not vaccinate your kids.
I just hate that it's like vaccines are becoming political. They shouldn't be political. Like it's not. I don't think that it should be a political statement. I don't think it should be like up for discussion amongst politics. You should vaccinate your kid. It is proven science, and it's not just them it protects the group. Like that's the whole point of it, is that it's protecting the group. And it just blows my mind on like how people can just stick so strongly in the wrong. And I'm just like, that's
Yeah.
so stressful to me. I don't want to deal with this. And it's not like you can just go up to people like, hey, did you vaccinate your kid? Because I don't want my kid around you if you didn't.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it makes it so, especially when we're both in the South, like, it's hard. Like,
Yeah.
I can't just, like, my kid can't hang out with
Hey.
you because I don't know if your kid's vaccinated or not. But I think about it, like, well, how do you deal with this? Like, how do you go around it? Because I don't want to put my kid at risk. Also, that seems rude. Like, that goes against my Southern hospitality of, are you
Of being like,
vaccinated?
no, sorry, I can't hang
Yeah,
out.
like, you have cooties, you can't hang out with my kid.
I know, but like it's gonna get to the point too where like they go to school and like you're not gonna know
Mm-hmm.
regardless, and there's gonna nothing you're gonna be able to do about it. So it's just crazy.
Yep.
I'm like, I literally will start crashing out. Like if I start truly thinking about things like that, like I have to be blissfully ignorant sometimes, or I will like spiral myself. Just like the other day when I was spiraling and I was like, we need to move out of the country. I'm like researching best places out of the country to raise your literally I think it's still in my Google search.
And I guess
Like,
it'd be
hold on.
Sweden or
Best
Switzerland.
places overseas to raise children. Um, Scandinavian countries like Sweden, Denmark, Norway, Switzerland, New Zealand, Canada, Iceland. So I'm like, okay, I'll go live in
Just keep them in the
Switzerland.
back pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Let's
try
just
really
pack up my
hard.
entire life and
Just like, what
figure
can I
out how
put
to
them
do
in?
that. Like, I don't know how you even do that, but yeah, so I have to chill or I will start crashing out because I just get really stressed out.
Absolutely. And I do too. Like, I have to think of just like today's problems. Like, what can I handle today? And
Yeah.
it's usually not the whole battle of vaccines. It's that today I'm going to handle my child not eating shoes. Like, that's my,
To the
my go to.
shoes or like chucking food at me like and the dude literally like chucks food with a purpose. Like it's not like a it's like a
Dude,
and I'm gonna look you in the eye and I'm like
my kid is such an attention freak, and I know where he gets it from. Both of his parents are very like attention seeking, so it makes sense, but it's still super frustrating. And like he loves getting in trouble, he loves being scolded, so like I can't do any of that. And he goes for the cat food, and then he like looks back and smiles this little cheesy grin with his 7 teeth, and then he throws it.
oh
And so we've been working on timeout, but it is exhausting. And like I have to deal with this every day. Like I can't deal with the things I'm gonna have to deal with in 4 years. Like I'll come to it when I come to it. Today we're just trying to
yeah
keep me and the kid alive, and he doesn't eat cat food.
yeah if we tell him no, he starts bawling immediately. Like it's not funny to him. Like he just gets his feeling like he gets his feelings hurt if you say no or don't do that or like hey like so and then he just is sobbing. So I'm like, well, what do I do now? Like I can't just like make him sit there and sob by himself. So now I have to be like, oh, it's okay. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the ABA me is struggling so hard with like how I'm supposed to respond because now I'm giving him attention because he's crying. And that's probably why he's going to continue to cry when I tell him no. But yeah, I don't have
Yeah,
the brain power to do that and to also work. So I'm like, it'll just be what it's going to be. So, which
yeah. My
reminds
kid,
me of, oh, go ahead.
oh, my kid is all about the attention. So like he thinks
Yeah.
it's hilarious to be told no. Like that is the funniest thing to him. Like he cheeses so hard, and he's just cackling anytime you tell him no. Like it is and it's so hard because like it makes me laugh, so I have to like hide my laughing while I'm like trying to scold him and to like
Yeah.
redirect his behavior. And it is just, and then it's like every time it's my kid, it's like my master's degree just goes out the window, and I'm like, I don't know how to ever work with a kid before in my life. Let's just do
Y-
everything wrong.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, look at my dogs. They are, yeah, clearly I cannot do what I teach others in my own home. That's okay. I'm good at
It's
it in
different
other
when it's at home.
settings. Yeah, I haven't generalized it. I haven't generalized my skills to my home, but that's okay. I've generalized them everywhere else. Um, which my next hot take is when women make it their sole purpose to talk about being a mom and like it's giving very 1800s vibes. Like, I was born for this. This is what I was raised to be. Okay, I'm really happy for you, but that's like not the only thing you are.
Yeah. Well, it's different because I feel like I see this a lot because of my husband's career and like the
Mm,
spouses that I see in that atmosphere. It is usually that very like traditional role or like I call them like super moms because I have like friends that I'm like, I genuinely don't know how you're doing this. Like you're raising three beautiful children and you're selling houses and you're baking sourdough and like you're going to soccer games and I'm just like I it's a good day when me and my child get out of our pajamas. So it's
straight
definitely
up.
like like there's definitely some moms that like thrive in it, which is great. I my thing is more so of like kind of appreciating all of the moms. Like the moms that that's not just their personality trait. Like there are moms that do so much more than that. And I mean some moms it is. That's all they want to be is a mom and that's all that they are and that's the sole purpose. Great. And having the same respect for like people that do so much more than being a mom and the mom is just like a little side quest for them. I think both deserve equal respect and I don't think that that's always the most common.
No, I just know, like, I think that it's again, it's just like a thing. Like, if a mom openly says, like, no, I could never be like a stay-at-home mom, like, that's not meant for me, then the moms who are stay-at-home moms are like, how dare you not love your child? And like, how dare you send them to daycare or have somebody else take care of them because you want to work? It's like, well, first of all, are you aware of the economy?
Who
So
can afford
I'm
that?
so happy for you that like you don't have to work. Good for you. But some of us like just genuinely have to do that.
Yeah.
And also, even if I didn't have to work, I could not physically be a stay-at-home mom because like I would go insane. Like, yeah, I like if I maybe joined like mom groups and like made sure I got out of the house, but I know my personality type and my personality type is to just naturally be like a homebody and an introvert. So, unless there's a reason that I'm having to leave every day or do something or talk to people every day, I'm not going to. So therefore, I know I would go insane. Even like maternity leave, like towards the end, I'm like, oh my God, like I need some interaction with other people.
Yeah, I definitely am a homebody, like for sure. And working from home and having like my kid here with like his nanny and everything like that definitely makes me feel like when I never leave, like I never get peace and quiet. um, but if I didn't have somebody taking care of my kid and have something else to focus on, like for, you know, my 8 hours of a day, I would jump off of a bridge. Like I can only, and listen, like some moms can entertain their kid all day, every day, no problem, no stress. I cannot. I can only play so many games with a 1 year old that doesn't understand any concept of games at all. And I only want to be hit in the head so many times. So
Oh,
that's
the
really not for
hitting.
me.
Oh
Oh my
my
God.
God. It's just like it's also the like just throwing of objects and you're in the line of fire. So it's like not even like you're purposefully trying to hit me, but I just happen to be in the line of fire of this
Mhm.
giant ass little nesting cup smacking me in the face. And I'm like, please, not today. Or like I am the jungle gym, so like just
Mhm.
climbing all over me and biting me and no, I
Oh
could
yeah.
like I can't. I can't. Like I'm too overstimulated for that.
Oh my God, I get so overstimulated. And like it's great. I love bonding with my child, but I also need like a break. So like those moms that don't need breaks, that is very impressive. Like I kudos to you. Are you sure? Like, are
I
you
know that's what
sure
I'm
you don't
saying.
need a
I'm like, are you
break?
sure? Because like I bet that you do. And like it's okay to say that you want a
Right.
break and it's okay to be like no, like I don't want to do bedtime tonight. Like that's the deal that like Matthew and I have because I work from home and then he's here and then we have the nanny like certain hours of the day, but there's still times where like I'm working and like
Hmm.
taking care of him. And so like I am like mentally exhausted by the end of the day because I've gotten up, done breakfast, like gotten us both ready, worked, done all of those things. So like he does bedtime routine. Like I get everything ready, I lay everything out, I make sure everything is good to go, but he gives him his bottle and he puts him to sleep. And it's like it's okay to say that that's what you need for your break. Like you don't have to do it all.
Yeah, I agree. It's hard because I like try explaining like mental load to my husband and it's just like not clicking. Like he tries really hard. He is the most supportive person ever, and honestly, he does more than I do in like every day, like just in general. Uh, but it's like so hard because I don't leave. So I am around the child like 24/7. Even if I'm not watching him, I'm still hearing him. I'm still checking on
Mhm.
him. Like I am baby focused all day. And so like by the time he gets off of work, I'm like, take the child, please. But then he's also had like a really hard day and you know, his job's really tough and everything like that. I'm like, I hear you. And you left the house. So take the child.
Right, like that is what you got for today, so
Yeah.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your
no, it's
drive
like I
home
literally
was
even
your
have like a
decompression.
sound machine like outside of like my little office to try to like muffle and stuff. But like still like I still make his lunch like and then the nanny like gives it to him like I make it. And then but
Well,
I'm
why are
just a
you
little bit
making it?
I'm a little bit of a control freak, okay? I can't trust anybody to do it. So she's offered. She's like, if you ever need me to make it, like let me know. Cause like sometimes I'll be like running late in a meeting and I'll be like texting her, like, I'll be there like just a second or whatever. And she's like, I can make it, you know? And I'm like, I know, but like sometimes I also don't really know what I'm gonna give him for lunch until I like open the fridge and look or whatever. And I don't want to tell somebody else, like, hey, just figure it out. Like
Which is so funny because
yeah.
that's exactly what I do with my nannies. I literally was like, there's like some cheese and some yogurt, and there's like some bacon in the back if you just want to like throw something together. And then she'll go and get hibachi, and she's like feeding him zucchini. I'm like, works for me. That's a vegetable. Good job.
Yeah, I mean, like she'll do the snacks and stuff because like he has his own cabinet and things like that. But his lunch, I do.
Yeah, you're better than me. I'm really bad
Yeah.
at that. I
Well,
literally tell my nanny, I'm just like, whatever you
I,
find.
I can't let go of that part of control. So, oops, that's on me for sure. Okay, any more hot takes?
Mm, oh, I have one that's not even like a hot take, but feels like a hot take.
Okay.
I love when people call me mama. Like, I know that like so many women hate it, and like, I'm not just a mom. Like, don't call me mama. Like, you're not my kid, and everything like that. I think it's adorable. I love it. Like, doctor's offices, I love it. Random people. Oh, look at you, mama. You must be so tired, mama. I'm like, I am tired. That is true. I agree with you. I
I
love it.
don't know if I feel like I can recall someone calling me mama.
Really? I get called it all the time. Like
I don't know,
doctor's
maybe they
offices,
do, but it just
strangers.
doesn't register to me because it's like something I like that I mean, like, I'm not opposed to saying it or like over like, woo, oh my God, thank you so much for saying that. So maybe they have, I feel like the pediatrician's office definitely does.
Yeah, I've just read a lot because I'm chronically online on TikTok and on Reddit. I've just read a lot of like, I'm so tired of people calling me mama. Like, I have a name. There's so much more to it, which I understand. Like, your whole personality is not mama. It's just to me, like, I don't know. Like I unlocked like a new character. Like I unlocked this
Oh,
character
yeah.
that gets to be
Mhm.
called Mama, and it's like a new like name for me that I didn't have access to before. So it's cool to have access to it now, and I enjoy it. And like that part I like really love, which honestly kind of goes against literally everything that I've said in this entire podcast, is because I was like, I'm
Now you're
so much more
contradicting.
than that.
Are you a
Yeah.
Gemini?
No, I'm an Aries. We're just really fiery about
Oh,
everything and nothing
I
at
was
the same
gonna say when you talked about unlocking like a new personality, I was like, wait, she's speaking to
No,
Gemini
that's just
me
mental
right now.
illness.
Okay, wait, I forgot I have one more hot take. The crazy obsessed like boy mom thing, icky. But also on the flip side, like just the stuff in general, like I do have a pair of earrings that say like mama on them because I thought they were really cute or whatever. I literally haven't worn them though because like I don't know what to wear it to. Like I'm like I don't think this is appropriate. Like if I were to go out one night, like I'm not gonna. I don't think I would wear these. But like buying stuff that specifically is like boy mom or like girl mom, girl dad, boy dad. Like, can you just buy something that says mama or dad?
Yeah, I hate that. I hate the boy mom persona that they've created for us because it's coming from people that do act a certain way with their kids and it's weird. And a lot of people, not all, but a lot of people try to replace their shitty husbands with their sons and it's weird. Like it's just very weird. Like I see on TikTok of like moms getting excited for their son's prom and like acting like their prom date. And I'm like, to an extent, it's exciting to have like your child go through these life events and you're part of it. And then it just gets, and I hate it. I hate it so much. Like your child is just your child and let him be a child. And you don't have to focus everything on being a boy mom and everything. It just drives me nuts because I'm just like, it's so weird. And I feel like it's so toxic. And I feel for all of those future daughter-in-laws that are going to have to battle their mother-in-laws for their son's attention. Just crazy.
Yeah. I just and then I think there's an extreme of it, and then I think there's people who genuinely they're just like they just do it for like buying like a shirt that says like boy mom or whatever and they're not like thinking of it on like that level, but I'm like I'm still like literally why does it matter that you're a girl dad
Mm-hmm.
or you're a boy mom? Like you're just a
The
like
only
you're a parent, so like can you just get something that says like dad? Or like I got Matthew this bluey's bluey shirt that says like cool dads club, like that's cute. There's nothing on there that needs to say anything about cool boy dads club. Like
yeah,
I don't I just it's weird to me.
the only time that I will support it is whenever they've had three daughters, and then it's a girl dad, and like you
Right,
put in
yeah,
work
it's
for that.
like yeah, okay, you deserve
You've
that.
earned, yeah, you've earned
I
that
mean, I guess
title.
the flip side, the flip could be said for like moms who like I know a mom who had three sons, and I'm like
That's why I will never have another child because I don't need that
I'm like,
possibility.
girl, I really, you did a great job, and I'm so sorry for you. So I feel like she would be someone who could earn the right to say, like, boy, mom, because, yeah.
That's all you have. That's yeah. Like I think
I'm,
there's an extent
yeah,
to it,
yeah.
but
But
not
the
your whole
like,
personality.
yeah, no, like the gender of the child that you had being your entire personality is weird. It's a kid.
Yeah, very weird.
Okay. All right. To wrap it up, what's your feral thought?
Mm, I have a lot of them. What is appropriate for me to share?
Listen, you've heard Dylan on here. He does not share appropriate things. It's okay.
It's really funny, actually. Um, this isn't a feral thought, but I'm gonna put it as a feral thought because
Hmm.
I think it just goes against a lot of things that I do. I don't think I like smut.
Wait, what? Wait. Whoa.
I I prefer books without smut. like I get tired when I'm flipping through the pages and they're still in her folds. Like I can't. I'm so over
Okay,
it.
well, yeah, but there's a difference. Like to me, there's like I don't know how to put it. The smut that like is pages and pages of a scene, I think is not necessary. Like just you can give me like, you know, a page and a half of what's going on and then we can move on to the next thing. And then yeah, maybe in a couple more chapters then we'll have like another thing going on, but I don't
Those are
know.
not the books you've recommended to me.
Well, I could go with anything. I will say yes, like after I have like the Lord series, like after I read that, I had like a whole hiatus of like smut and like dark romance for a little bit. Actually, I think then I got back on my like hockey romance or
Hmm.
whatever. Because you really need to become one with nature again after you read the Lord series because
Me
like
too.
especially the one book that I told you like don't even read like the Sinner because I mean, obviously these are dark romance books, but like that one was really fucking triggering for me, and I was like, "You don't want to read this because I'm like, how does one make such a smutty book, but also with such triggering, awful things happening
Yeah.
to these girls?"
I don't know what
Um,
she's smoking when she writes these books, but it's a lot.
like I loved it. I ate it up, but I did need to like reconnect with nature and like take a hiatus. And I even did for a little bit too. Like I was remember I told you I was on my sad book kick. Like I was only reading sad books because I was just like I needed to feel okay. So I was and like none of them had any smut in them. But like after I've done that for a little bit where I've like read books with no smut, I'm like, okay, I got like, come on, like I gotta have something. That's like I
I,
tried to start like the Throne of Glass series and I just couldn't because what I
yeah.
started with the book that's always debated if you should start that first or not. Oh,
Oh,
Assassin's
okay.
Blade or
Yeah.
whatever. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, God, I'm like 25% through and like they haven't even like touched hands. Give me
See,
something.
I love the pining. Like that is what I love. Like the pining and the slow burn and you get just like a little bit of a touch here and there and they're losing their shit. I love that. That is my preferred book. When they are fucking by page two, I'm like, where's the romance?
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. I guess it just
So that
depends on my mood, you know. I do some genre shifts every couple of months. Right now
which
I'm
is
in
fair.
the by page 2, maybe chapter 2, and probably after I get done with this series, I think I'm going to go back to I need some sad books again.
We're in that era. I need to find something to like make me feel alive again because like I haven't been able to
Did
finish
you
a
read
book
The
and
Nightingale?
no, but I don't know how I feel about that because it's like historical fiction, isn't it?
Yes. Okay. So, and we've already talked about this. I don't do history, and I was very against it myself because I'm like, ugh, like this is not going to be it for me. I like don't really care for history and that kind of stuff, but it was really good and really heartbreaking. I will say the one thing like that I like with history that I do like to at least like watch movies about or like read about would be like the Holocaust and like World War III and that kind of stuff. And it is like based around that time.
I don't want
So
to be sad. I'm already
yeah.
sad. I don't want to be sad on top of sad. I want fairies and romance and
Mm-hmm.
pining, and I want a man to get on his knees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need to get into I need to do fantasy again. I have the Red Queen like series, the first book to
Ooh,
that.
I've heard
But
good
obviously
things.
it's very young adult, like it's like the Powerless series that was really
Yes,
good.
they said
Um
that the Powerless series was ripped off of the Red
yeah,
Queen, and
so
like
that's why I
so.
got it because I was like, okay, well if they're kind of similar, I should read it. But again, young adult, so they might kiss if even that. And I'm like, ugh, I'm not in the mood for that right now, okay?
Which is fair
So,
because like my mafia books are definitely not slow burn. Like my mafia books are definitely like
Mhm.
by page 2 you're my
Well, yeah, I
property and
think
I
it's
will
kind of like
protect
you
you.
have to like if it's there's no yearning in a mafia book. Let's be so
No.
for real. He's the boss. Right now. Well, this series goes back and forth between the like Italian mafia and then the Russian mafia. So what the
Mm.
I'm gonna say it wrong. The Bratva.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm. And
Mhm.
then the um Cosa Nostra. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I read a lot
Hmm.
of Russian mafia, which I really enjoy, and I learned how to say,
Yeah.
I think kitten was like Koistinov
Oh,
or something like that.
yeah, and then,
Like,
like, Little Fox, like, all the little yeah. Oh,
all
that's, like,
their
the
endearments.
series that you did recommend to me, the Maid series. What, Alistair, and then who was the last one? Because 'Cause I'm pretty sure the last one was my favorite one.
Oh, I don't remember.
It's his brother, right?
Yeah, the Russian, right?
Mhm, mhm. I think I would
Wasn't
have
Victor,
liked
was
book
it? I feel like a lot of them are just Victors.
I don't know. I feel like I would have liked the second one a little bit more if, like, we got more of their story after.
I loved them because that was pining for
It
years,
was. It
and
really
that's what I
was.
love.
It shows true
Which is
dedication on a man's part, and we need more of that.
which I absolutely adore, which is probably why I liked Magnolia Parks so much because there's so much pining and yearning and like just you're like you just want this person so bad and you can't like get to them and there's always something going on and everything like that. I hated it. I loved it. And that's why I loved it. I love the
I know I
pain.
have that one on my bookshelf too, so
That's
I need
money.
yeah, I
Very,
know.
very
That's like
little
I
month.
texted you the other day about that, and I was like, "Okay, no, not gonna work. That's not where my head's at right now." So when my head gets there, I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
But that's the other
But
thing
and
too,
I
because I know it has a lot of like books. So that's something that like I always think about. I'm like, okay, am I ready to get into this deep of a series? Like that's like even
mhm,
like with Red Queen. I think there's like 4 books. So I'm like, okay, am I ready? Because with fantasy too, you can't stop. Like you have to keep reading them because you're going to forget or you're going
nonstop.
to have to go back and like reread them. So I'm like, am I ready to dedicate like no more books in between, like just this until I'm done with this series? I don't know. So for right now, I'm going to not do it.
Yeah, that's how I feel about a lot of them. And I also hate unfinished series. Like I loved Fourth Wing. I'm not reading anything else until the series is completed. I hate reading unfinished
Yeah.
series. And Magnolia Parks is unfinished. I thought it was fucking finished. And
Oh,
I
it
didn't know until I
is?
got to the fifth book that it's not finished, that she still has one more book to write. And she hasn't even started it. She's just fucking lollygagging out there, not starting her sixth book. I'm
Well,
like,
that's
this
like
is
Fourth
bullshit.
Wing. So that's what I got myself into. I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know anything about it because I like was just like, oh, okay, like everybody keeps recommending this. And so I did when Onyx Storm came out, I reread Fourth Wing and Iron Flame because I was like, okay, clearly, I'm gonna have to reread, like, so I can make sure it's ready to
Mm-hmm.
go. Then I got Onyx Storm, and then like I was in such a slump at that point
Mm-hmm.
because I just had to use all this mental power for the first 2 books, and so literally I haven't even finished it. Because then I realized this like other book's not even gonna come out till like 2027. So I'm like,
Exactly.
I'm good
Like,
because
I
you're
can't.
not going to leave me hanging for that long. And I
Exactly.
can't. So it'll just sit on my shelf until the next one's like, I know it's potentially coming out and then I'll read it. And then
Yep.
Akatar, which is supposed to be a finished series, is supposedly not going to be a finished series anymore. Supposedly she's coming out with another book. And I'm like, no,
Oh my God,
no,
that's so
no,
annoying.
no, no. We're not doing this. It was done. Let it be done. Just like with movies and, or, well, TV shows know when to end the series. It's done. We don't need any more from it.
Well, ACOTAR was originally supposed to be the 3 book series, which is all that I read. I didn't read the last 2 because I read that they're mostly just smut and it doesn't actually add much to the storyline. But she originally was supposed to have
I
like the
have
3.
to argue with that because Silver Flames, I think it's just a lot of people don't like Nesta. And if you don't like Nesta, it's because you have not undergone a lot of trauma in your life and like
Mm-hmm.
had that change you as a human being and have to like find yourself again. So I think that's why a lot of people don't resonate with her. But yes, Silver Flames is probably the smuttiest one out of all of them, which I mean, the first one's like not really at all.
Yeah.
But it's also like still only like 4 or 5 chapters. Like if you really think about it, like that was like something I saw, like, you know, the TikTokers who like review books and like talk about books and stuff. And one of them I was talking about like the people who will say like ACOTAR is like a super smutty series, like you, that it's not, because if you're rating like smut by like how many pages in the book are
Mm,
like actual smut, how like versus how many pages like overall, there's probably only like 5 or 10% of the book that is actually that.
right.
So, yes, are the scenes intense? Sure. But like actually they're not even like they're not as intense as like some of the dark romance novels I've read. So I
Valid.
do think that the last book is I I think it's good. It was it was probably my second favorite. Mist and Fury obviously has to be first, and then Silver Flames can be next. The little novella, like the Frost and Starlight one,
Hmm.
waste of time, honestly.
See, then I feel like the third, like if I just read the three, I'm like, okay, that wraps it up good enough for me. They can fuck off and figure out the rest. So like I
Yeah.
felt good about ending it there. But I don't want to like I hate when people just like art authors will just keep adding to series. Like let it be. Like what it is complete. It's good to go. You don't need to add any more to it. Because I'm pretty sure Fourth Wing was only supposed to be a trilogy originally. I think that's
Yeah,
what she said when
that's
she
what I
first started.
thought too. And so that's why I was
Yeah,
like, okay, cool. I'll get into this because the next book's coming out. And then now, like, there's 2 more books that are supposed to be a part of
hmm,
it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And she already like
yeah.
went on like the interview and was like, well, my writing process is, you know, like I write a fantasy and then I write a contemporary romance, you know, like what's that one book that you had me read of hers that you
Uh,
said was
the
super
last
sad?
letter
Yes, which I'm
or
gonna be honest,
something. Yeah.
it was sad, but I didn't cry actually at all during the book. Like it was sad, but I was like, okay. So that's her, like, so basically she's going to write another contemporary romance and
Right.
then she'll start writing the next book. And I'm like,
It's too
no,
long. I
no.
forgot everything.
So yeah, I
Anyways,
love
these are
how
my
we
feral
go
thoughts.
from having, yeah, I love how we go from having like hot mom takes to then
Yeah.
like having the most serious discussion about books and
I
series
could
and
talk
all
about
of the
books
above.
forever because I just have so many contradictory opinions.
Yeah, I feel. Well, and actually, I need to update my Fable. That reminds me.
Yes, I need to
And
update
my
mine too.
to keep my reading streak alive.
Stupid reading streak thing. It makes me so mad because it's like you have to add the book. I get so mad about it.
I
I'm
know you
like,
have to
because I
add the
have
book
been
first.
reading.
Or yeah, like I'll have to, especially if I'm reading on my Kindle, I'll have to like go back and look at my Goodreads to see when I started it because I have to edit the dates on it because I didn't add it in time. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I wish that it would have a way to like, which it will connect with your Goodreads, but you have to like manually import it each time. And I'm like, well, I don't want to
Right.
do that. So
Just let me hit that I read today. Like, you
yeah,
don't need to know what book I read today. Just let me say
yeah.
that I
And then
read
when I'm
today.
done with
That's
the
enough.
book, I'll let you know that I'm done with the book and I'll rate it. And then
Exactly.
that's all you need.
That's what makes me mad is I have to go and add the book every time. And I don't know what book I was reading 3 days ago. I just know I read a book.
Yeah. Hmm.
I
Well,
can write about books.
thank you, Victoria, for joining the pod today. The Ratties, we're thrilled to have you. I'm sure of it. Um,
Thanks for having me.
and you're welcome back anytime. And for my fellow ratties, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to follow me on my socials at Feral Thoughts Pod, and see you next time. Bye.